guys, welcome back to the channel. And for today, man, I wanted to give you guys an Anti-Venom solo for this new Avengers Rumble right here. But before I do that, I actually wanted to talk to you guys a little bit about something that a lot of you guys may not currently be aware of, and that is this stage right here, the new Avengers Rumble, which was notoriously known as one of the hardest stages inside Shadowland, actually got nerfed. Actually, I guess I shouldn't say nerfed, because when you say something has been nerfed, it's generally associated with that thing becoming worse, but this actually became better, and to be honest, it's been normalized in a way that it should have always been. And what I'm talking about is that the new Avengers Rumble was something that came to this game last year when we originally got Shadowland as a game mode, and it was so freaking difficult for no reason. For example, Wiccan and Hulkling, these two right here, for some reason, even though in this game they do not have any ability to reflect damage back at you, they had the ability to reflect energy, which was Wiccan. If you use energy attacking characters, Wiccan would reflect the energy attack back at you, and if you use physical attacking characters, Hulkling would reflect that attack back at you. So it made it so that the majority of the characters in the game could not possibly beat this stage, regardless of whether you were using a team or a solo, because in order to counter the freaking reflect that was in this stage, you needed to use characters that had tons of iframes and a lot of CC as well. You needed a mixture of both, or you needed a lot of one of those two things. So you either needed a lot of iframes or a lot of CC, otherwise you could not beat this stage. And I'm talking even if you're using really OP characters. So it was crazy to think that even like at something as early as floor 5 was incredibly difficult. And that remained to be the case up until the 3.4. And I'm not necessarily sure why Netmarble waited so long or why they even removed this reflect, but this is a great thing, so I wanted to put it out there, guys. The new Avengers Rumble that everyone, myself included, was always wary of because it was just so annoying to deal with all of the reflect that was in here, is now nerfed or normalized, and it actually reflects what it should have always been. There is no reflect in here, so the only one that you really need to worry about is actually Songbird. So you can use a lot more options now. You're gonna see a lot more people soloing the new Avengers Rumble, and that is the reason why. You don't have to be worried about getting damage reflected back at you anymore, because there is no longer any reflect in here. And I believe that is the case now for a lot of the stages inside Shadowland where characters had reflect that they shouldn't have had before. Like for example, Sister Grimm, a lot of the time she would reflect energy damage back at you in her stages, and in her kit she doesn't have any kind of reflect. So that is a good thing. I'm liking that Netmarble is going back and changing some of these things that were completely unfair because they shouldn't have had it in the first place, especially in stages where it never specifically stated that that was part of the modifier where the characters in here would reflect damage back at you. I don't care if characters are doing stuff that they can't do normally in the game, but when it's not listed, it means that it's something that Netmarble never intended to be there, and they've just kind of left it there because it made it so people couldn't get the rewards, and I'm not sure why they would do that. So really happy they're going back and making some slight changes and making it so that stuff is normalized now. That is a great thing. I don't want to dwell on this too much, man, but be happy, guys. This is one step further for us in making Shadowland a little bit easier. Really happy about that. So let's go ahead and take a look at my Anti-Venom, and then we go in and perform this solo right here. So most importantly, his uniform is untouched. Take a look at the details right here. As you guys can see, he has 50% skill cooldown or reduced cooldown duration, 50% ignore defense, 150 for crit damage, which is very low. Crit rate is fairly high, and his attack speed is very low, to be honest. But for Venom, you don't want to have any attack speed here at all, mainly because if you plan to tier 2 him anytime in the future, you're going to get this tier 2 passive right here. As you guys can see, all speeds get increased by 35%. The cap for attack speed, which is included in all speed, is 130%. So once you get into tier 2, you're going to immediately have 130% capped off attack speed. So you should never really build him with attack speed in mind. I only have it because my ISO, as you guys can see, is Power of Angry Hulk, which is not what you want. For him, the only option, and I mean the only option out of all the ISO sets in the game, is Overdrive. That is it. No healing ISO set, no HP shield, no nothing. Just Overdrive. That's my advice to you guys, okay? This right here is not optimal. You don't want invincibility, although with this uniform it makes him a tank, and this uniform right here is the only way that you're able to play Anti-Venom, because outside of it he's currently garbage. Okay, so this right here, everything on it is decent except the invincibility. You want a damage proc here, you want a damage proc, and that is the only real option. As for his skills, they're all at 6. And the most important skill in this guy's kit is the 5 skill. As long as you spam this skill off cooldown, you don't need to worry about anything. It's almost impossible for him to die. So with that said, boys, let's jump in here and bang out a quick solo. Gears are all at 20, no Urus on him, and skill cooldown is what I have on the 4th gear slot. Alright, so let's jump in here, boys, and have some fun with this new Avengers Rumble, man. I'm actually going to have a lot more fun with Shadowland now just because of this, because this is one of the Rumbles that I always stayed away from. Not because I couldn't beat it, but just because of how annoying it was to deal with. It's probably the Rumble in this game that I currently have the least amount of solos performed against, this and the Spideyverse Rumble. Still have to play around with that one because that one is hard, but it's hard because it's supposed to be hard with all the CC that those guys are supposed to have and that they do have. Let's do it, boys. Alright, let's have some fun, boys. Now pretty much the only one that you gotta worry about in here is Songbird, because she has all those stuns, but the rest of them are just gonna die, and that's all there is to it, man. It's crazy stuff. I'm not sure what sparked this change in that marble, but hopefully they keep at it, because 3.4 may not have seemed like it was one of the greatest updates, but they definitely added a good bit of like small stuff that made it so that there was a lot of drastic changes done to the overall game in the 3.4. That's my personal opinion though. Okay, Songbird, that's enough. That's enough. See, prior to this, Hulkling would have had me dead already just because of all the reflect that bastard has. But now, there's no reflect, so he's just gonna die like a scrub. And once you take out Songbird, it's just over. Yep, Songbird's dead, so we're assured the win. Not even Wiccan can change this this outcome. But you know what? You can die, Squirrel Girl. So yeah, this guy doesn't have the greatest of DPS the way how I have him set up, but the survivability based on him having this freaking uniform is pretty freaking awesome, man. In case you guys are wondering, don't build Venom unless you plan to buy this uniform. Without this uniform, he is straight garbage. Just want to reiterate that for any of you guys who skipped to the end. But yeah, that's it for this one, guys. There is a reason to celebrate Netmarble. Looks like they're paying attention. Let's hope there is some more changes to come to some of the things in Shadowland, because there are still some stages that don't work how they should work. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys next time. Peace.